My private journal, the one where I poured out every confused and desperate feeling I had for my secret girlfriend, was currently being broadcast to the entire class by the loudest guy in school. I froze in the doorway, my hand gripping the strap of my backpack so hard my knuckles turned white. Caleb was standing on a desk, performing my most intimate thoughts like a bad actor in a school play. "Little M looked so perfect in that white t-shirt," Caleb boomed, mocking my handwriting. "But honestly, she looks even better without it." The classroom exploded. Laughter bounced off the walls, sharp and humiliating. People were wiping tears from their eyes, pointing at the diary in Caleb's hand. Someone in the back row shouted, "Who is this guy? Who thinks they have a shot with Maya?" "Yeah, seriously," another voice chimed in. "That's Maya's dream guy? Talk about delusional." The irony was suffocating. Maya and I had been dating for a year. We were neighbors, we grew up together, and we had been hiding this relationship because she didn't want it to affect her social standing. I looked over at her. She was sitting near the window, and instead of defending me, instead of looking embarrassed for us, she looked at me with pure, unadulterated disgust. She mouthed the words, "Stop writing things that make me sick." My heart dropped into my stomach. I was about to step forward, to say something, anything, to stop the humiliation, when I felt a sudden weight on my arm. Someone had hooked their elbow through mine. A girl appeared behind me. It was Chloe, the girl everyone whispered about because she was rich, unpredictable, and didn't care what anyone thought. She glared at Caleb with a ferocity that could cut glass. "Is Maya the only girl in this school whose name starts with M?" Chloe asked, her voice cutting through the laughter. "My boyfriend's diary isn't for public consumption." The room went quiet. Caleb paused, looking confused. "What? Your boyfriend?" "You heard me," Chloe said, tightening her grip on my arm. "Or are you deaf as well as illiterate?" Caleb laughed nervously, trying to recover the momentum. "Wait, this is Ethan's diary? Seriously? Ethan wrote this?" He looked at me, his eyes full of sarcasm. "I didn't know you had it in you, man. Little M confessed to me today, and when she blushed, I felt like I was dreaming." "That's you?" "That's him," Chloe said smoothly. "And little M looks good in a white shirt?" Caleb continued, grinning. "Come on. Everyone knows Maya wears white shirts all the time. This has to be about Maya. Ethan is obsessed with my girlfriend. It's creepy." "Gross," a girl in the front row said. "Imagine fantasizing about someone else's girlfriend like that." Caleb shook his head, looking down at me with fake pity. "Sorry, Ethan. I honestly found this by accident. I wouldn't have read it if I didn't think it was funny. But seriously, dude, writing about my girl? That's low." The class murmured in agreement. Caleb was painting himself as the victim, the benevolent king defending his queen from the weirdo in the corner. "Why shouldn't he read it?" someone yelled. "Expose the creep!" Maya finally stood up. She walked over to Caleb, took the diary from his hands, and without even looking at me, tossed it into the trash can by the teacher's desk. "It's disgusting," Maya said, her voice cold. "Don't waste your time reading it, Caleb. It'll just dirty your eyes." She knew that notebook. We had bought it together at a bookstore downtown the day we officially started dating. She knew exactly what it was, and she threw it away like it was garbage. She stood behind Caleb, aligning herself with him, treating me like a stranger she had never met. It all clicked into place. The distance over the last few weeks, the unanswered texts. Maya had started dating Caleb without breaking up with me first. When Caleb transferred here, he was the shiny new toy, handsome, rich, charming. Maya had scoffed at him initially, calling him a player, but apparently the allure was too strong. She had monkey-branched right over to him and left me hanging. Caleb looked at me, feigning tears. "I'm so sorry, Ethan. I didn't know I was exposing your twisted little fantasies." "Wow, didn't expect that from Ethan," a classmate whispered loud enough for me to hear. "He looks so innocent usually," I heard he follows Maya home, another whispered. Creepy stalker vibes. I looked at Maya. Do you have anything to say? Maya frowned, stepping closer to Caleb. Ethan, if I ever did anything to give you the wrong idea, I apologize. We've been neighbors since we were kids, so I've always seen you as a little brother. Please stop writing those delusions. It upsets my boyfriend. She paused, then delivered the final blow. I'll say it clearly. I will never like you. I've always liked Caleb. She wrapped her arm around Caleb's waist. They looked like the perfect couple, the kings and queens of the school, and I was the villain trying to ruin their happiness. I felt sick. Suddenly, Chloe leaned her head on my shoulder. A scent of cedar and expensive perfume filled my nose. What is your problem? Chloe asked, looking bored. Is Maya the only M in the world? Is the world revolving around you? What about you? A student asked. You're Chloe. That doesn't start with M. Middle name, Chloe lied effortlessly. My boyfriend's diary is about me. You all seem really invested in our relationship. Do you want to hide under our bed and take notes, too? She looked at Maya. No dream guy here for you, sweetheart. Just you dreaming. My boyfriend likes me. Go check yourself in a mirror. Maya looked stunned. She stared at Chloe's arm linked with mine. When did you two get together? The date is on the first page of the diary, I said, my voice surprisingly steady. So, the person I kissed while she was sleeping? That was Chloe. Maya's face paled. Impossible, you can't be together. Need proof? Chloe asked, raising an eyebrow. She reached into her jacket pocket and pulled out a folded piece of paper. Remember the first page you read? The confession letter? She unfolded it. The handwriting was rough, bold, definitely hers. This is the love letter I wrote when I confessed to him. Ethan kept it because he's sentimental. She looked at Maya with a shark-like grin. Does Maya want me to read the intimate details? Maya flushed red. No way. How could he date you? He clearly... Clearly what? Caleb asked, confused. Did you actually date him? No, Maya shouted, looking panicked. I was just mistaken. Let's go, Caleb. Hold on, Chloe said, stepping in front of them. Did I say you could leave? What do you want? Maya snapped. Apologize to my boyfriend, Chloe said. Caleb laughed. Apologize for what? Reading a diary with initials? It was a misunderstanding. I found it. I read it. Not my fault. Did you find it, or did you steal it? Chloe pointed to the security camera in the corner of the room. I can have the footage pulled in 10 minutes. My family donates quite a bit to this school. If I say check the tapes, they check the tapes. Do you want this to turn into a theft investigation? Caleb's smile vanished. He knew Chloe wasn't bluffing. Her family had real power. Maya realized they were cornered. She walked over to the trash can, fished out my diary, and handed it to me. Caleb didn't mean it. Is this really necessary? It is very necessary, I said, looking her in the eye. Don't push it, Ethan, Maya hissed. Don't talk to him, Chloe snapped. Apologize, now. Maya bit her lip, humiliated. She bowed slightly. I'm sorry. After the crowd dispersed, Chloe dragged me into the quiet equipment room at the back of the gym. I gently pulled my arm away. Sorry for the mess, I said quietly. And thanks. You really saved me back there. She had lied for me, fabricated a relationship, and stood up to the most popular people in school. It was surreal. I need to go, I said, feeling the adrenaline crash. I'll post online later that we broke up so people don't misunderstand. I don't want to ruin your reputation. Chloe stepped forward, blocking my exit. I never lie. What? That letter, she said, holding it up. It's real. It's an unsent love letter. From me. To you. I stared at her. I spent a month writing this, she confessed, looking at her shoes. I looked up guides online. I even consulted a tarot card reader to find a lucky date to give it to you. I was planning to confess today, but then I walked in and saw you holding hands with, well, disaster struck before I could even start. I took the letter from her, feeling like I was in a fever dream. Chloe, the scary rich girl, liked me? I walked home in a daze. When I got to my apartment building, I heard the familiar sound of shattering glass coming from the second floor. My home. My dad was roaring, and my mom was sobbing. It was the soundtrack of my life. I sat on the stairs outside the apartment, waiting for the noise to die down so I could go in and clean up the blood and glass. The hallway light flickered and died. In the sudden darkness, a shadow moved. Maya was leaning against the railing on the landing above. "Want to hang out on the roof?" she asked softly. Maya lived upstairs. For years, she had been my escape. When my parents fought, when my dad threw me out, Maya would find me. She would offer me ice cream or a quiet place to sit. I used to think she was my savior, the one person pulling me out of the mud. But standing there in the dark, I realized something. She hadn't pulled me out. I had climbed out myself. Every single day. "No thanks," I said. "My parents are getting a divorce soon. We'll be moving. They won't bother the building anymore." Maya froze. "Are you still mad about today?" "Not mad," I said. "Just done." "I'm sorry, Ethan," she said, walking down the stairs to stand in front of me. "I was just messing around with Caleb. You know I don't actually like guys like him. I just wanted to see what it felt like. You and we're so similar. Hugging you is like hugging myself. I wanted to know what excitement felt like." "I didn't think I'd see the day someone justified cheating with, 'I wanted excitement,'" I said, trying to step past her. She blocked me. "Don't be like that. Today was partly your fault, too. You were so cozy with Chloe. And if you hadn't written that diary, none of this would have happened. You know I like to keep things low-key." "Right," I said. "Keep it low-key so you can date other people publicly." "I'm with you now, aren't I?" she said, reaching for my hand. "Stop joking. You couldn't possibly like someone like Chloe. She's intense." "Even the worst person wouldn't trash-talk a guy behind his back or cheat on him," I said, pulling my hand away. "I've been with Chloe for a while now, Maya. You're the one who was out of the loop." Maya stared at me. "So the diary, it really was about her?" "Who else?" I lied. The truth was, the diary was about Maya. I had convinced myself I loved her because she showed me basic kindness when my life was hell. I mistook pity for love. But today, the illusion shattered. Just then, the heavy iron gate downstairs slammed open. My dad stumbled in, drunk out of his mind. A bottle smashed at my feet. "Hanging out in the hallway instead of coming home?" he slurred. "Just like your useless mother, get inside!" Maya checked her phone, which had just buzzed. "Oh, Caleb is here to pick me up. I have to go." She looked at me, then at my dad. "Sorry, Ethan." She ran downstairs, leaving me alone with the monster. I walked into the apartment. It was a wreck. Dad was throwing things. Mom was cowering in the corner. I grabbed a broom and started sweeping. My calmness seemed to infuriate him. He charged at me, grabbing my hair and slapping me across the face. "If it weren't for you, I wouldn't be stuck with her," he screamed. "I've paid for everything for 20 years and now she wants a divorce. I'll kill both of you first." He grabbed a lit cigarette and pressed it into my shoulder. The pain was sharp, but I didn't flinch. I just looked at him. "Do it," I said. "Kill us. Then you'll go to prison and die alone." He roared and picked up a heavy wooden chair, swinging it at me. This time I didn't just take it. I grabbed a heavy glass vase from the table and swung it back. It shattered over his head. 2 hours later, we were at the police station. "Ethan, please, just apologize to your father," my mom begged, wiping her eyes. "He was just drunk. We can't have him arrested. How will you get a job? How will you get married if people know your dad is a convict?" He almost killed me, Mom, I said, touching the bandage on my head. He's your father, she wept. I won't divorce him. I felt a wave of hopelessness. She was never going to leave him. Suddenly, a folder landed on the table. Chloe was standing there, looking like a lawyer. Here are the medical reports, Chloe said to the officer. Ethan has 12 distinct injuries, varying in age. Rib fractures, burns, bruising, and here are the records of his father's gambling debts and previous noise complaints. The station door opened, and Maya rushed in. Ethan, are you okay? My mom said the police were called. She looked at my bruises. Did he hit you again? Come on, let's go. Chloe stepped between us. You have great timing, don't you? Always showing up right after the damage is done to play the nurse. Excuse me? Maya said, offended. You live upstairs, Chloe said coldly. You hear the fights. You know what happens. You could have called the police a dozen times, but you didn't. Why? Because you were scared his dad would yell at you? Coward. Maya opened her mouth to argue, but she had nothing. She turned and walked out into the night. As we left the station, my dad was being held in a cell. I heard two officers talking. Finally got him, one said. We've had reports on that address for months. Someone kept calling in anonymous tips, cutting the power to the building to stop the fights. We just never had the evidence until now. I stopped. The mysterious power outages. Every time my dad got too violent, the lights would go out, confusing him and stopping the beating. I thought it was luck. It was Chloe. I got into the back of her black Maybach. She was punching a stuffed penguin in frustration. Did she really think she could just walk in there? Chloe muttered. If I wasn't trying to be a good influence, I would have... Thank you, I said. For the power cuts. For the police reports. For everything. She froze. You heard that? Yeah. I didn't want you to know, she said quietly. I didn't want you to think I was pitying you. I hated seeing you hurt. The next morning, Maya was waiting at the bottom of the stairs. She had a bag of breakfast sandwiches. Ethan, she said, trying to smile, I brought you food. I know you didn't eat. I'm fine, I said, walking past her. About yesterday, she said, hurrying to keep up. Chloe, putting your dad in jail is extreme. It's going to ruin your future. And she used money to investigate him? That's illegal. Who does that? I stopped. He's a criminal, Maya. He beats us. And you're worried about my political future? I'm just saying family is family, she said. Having a dad like that? It made you tough. I looked at her. Really looked at her. You've changed. No, I said. I've just woken up. A black car pulled up. The window rolled down. Chloe smiled. Get in. I have breakfast. Michelin star pastries. Still warm. I got in the car without looking back. Maya was left standing on the curb with her cold sandwiches. At school, the rumors were flying. People saw me get out of the luxury car. Someone posted a picture online. Cinderella story. Alcoholic dad, broke, but he snagged the rich girl. Gold digger much? Chloe replied immediately from her verified account. I chased him. Get your facts straight. And whoever posted this, maybe worry about your own dad's pending lawsuit before talking about mine. The bullying stopped instantly. Later that day, after lunch, Caleb started making a scene. My watch is gone, he shouted. My Rolex. I left it in my desk, and now it's gone. He looked directly at me. I ignored him, organizing my books. I picked up a workbook, and a heavy gold watch clattered onto the desk. Aha! Caleb yelled, rushing over. I knew it! You stole it! I didn't touch it, I said. Check the cameras. Cameras are broken today, Maya said, appearing from the hallway. Just give it back, Ethan. Don't make this a big deal. Of course. They knew the cameras were down. It was a setup. "Once a thief, always a thief," someone whispered. "I didn't do it," I said calmly. "Call the cops. They can check for fingerprints." Caleb smirked. "Fine. Let's call them." He looked too confident. He must have wiped his prints. Chloe walked in, holding a plastic bag. She picked up the workbook the watch had been hidden in using a pair of tweezers she pulled from her art kit. "This workbook belongs to Ethan," she announced. The watch was inside it. If Caleb put it there, his fingerprints will be on the pages of the book, not just the watch. "Did you remember to wipe the paper, Caleb? Or just the metal?" Caleb's face went white. "You can't wipe prints off paper without ruining it." "Also," Chloe said, holding up her phone, "I recorded you slipping it in there through the window in the door. The hallway cameras aren't broken." Caleb panicked. "No, don't call the police. My dad will kill me. It was a joke." "Please, Chloe," Maya begged. "He's just a kid. He didn't mean it." "He tried to frame me for a felony," I said. "Call security." Caleb was dragged away, crying. He was expelled a week later. Maya stopped talking to me entirely. Months passed. The drama faded. I focused on studying. When the college entrance exam results came out, I scored a 689, high enough for any school I wanted. Chloe called me. "Exams are over. Can I get an answer to my letter now?" I took a breath. "Chloe, I am so grateful to you. You saved me in more ways than one, but I need to figure out who I am without a crisis for a while. I can't date you right now. I'm sorry." There was a silence. "I get it," she said, her voice trembling slightly. "Go find yourself, Ethan." I hung up, feeling a heavy weight lift. A few days later, Maya knocked on my door. She was holding college brochures. "Ethan, I came to help you apply," she said, beaming like nothing had happened. "We agreed on C University, right? It's close to home. I'll take care of you there." "I already applied," I said. "Great. See you at C University then." "I applied to A University," I said, "in the South." Her smile dropped. "But we agreed." "You agreed," I said. "Goodbye, Maya." We moved out the next day. Mom sold the apartment. As we were loading the truck, I saw Maya standing by the dumpster. She was holding the old diary, the one she had thrown away. She must have fished it out. She was reading it, tears streaming down her face. She finally realized that every word in there had been about her, about how much I had cared, and how she had thrown it all away for a brief moment of popularity. October arrived. The campus of a university was covered in red maple leaves. I was walking to the library when I saw a girl painting by the lake. She turned around. It was Chloe. "Ethan," she waved, holding a paintbrush. "I'm in the art department. Crazy coincidence, right?" Epilogue. It wasn't a coincidence. Chloe had found out where I applied and changed her entire life plan to follow me. She had argued with her butler, defied her parents' wish for her to study abroad, and enrolled here just to be near me. She decided she wasn't going to hide in the shadows anymore. She was going to win me over, fair and square. Maya, on the other hand, panicked when I left. She tried to change her application to follow me, but her grades weren't good enough. She ended up at a mediocre school in the same city, hoping to run into me. She came to visit my campus one weekend. She saw a flashy Rolls-Royce parked out front, Chloe's car. She watched from a distance as I walked out of the dorms. I wasn't the hunched, scared kid anymore. I was laughing, talking to Chloe. I leaned against the car. "You know, this car is too loud for campus." "Deal with it," Chloe laughed. Maya watched us, realizing she was looking at a world she could no longer enter. She turned around and walked away, finally understanding that she was just a chapter in a book I had finished writing.